Grr, arg.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Mixtape Podcast, a podcast where we review movies from a screenwriter's perspective. I will be your host. My name is Dean Stark, and I am joined, as always, by my co host, Marcelo Inestroza. And up this week, we have a favorite early 2000s horror movie of mine. We are reviewing My Bloody Valentine, released in 2009. So, this is the remake, not the original 1981 version. And it was directed by Patrick Lucia and it was written by Todd Farmer and Zane Smith. And if you don't know what this movie is about, this is what it is. Tom returns to his hometown on the 10th anniversary of the Valentine's Day night massacre that claimed 22 people. So the opening scene of this movie is I love the opening scene because it's a credit sequence, but it's integral story information that you need to know. And Wrong Turn does the same thing. And I love when they do that, because it's like you can have a look at like who the line producer is, or if you don't care, you can have a look at what the story is. So it gives you the option of looking at the credits or looking at kind of the background of the story. So we see various newspaper clippings about a mine collapse that trapped 6 miners. But when the townspeople kind of mount a rescue, they discover that 5 are dead from a pickaxe to the head, not from the collapse. And one man is alive, Henry Warden, who they accuse of killing the other 5 to steal their oxygen to stay alive, which he did. Now we switch to another newspaper clipping, and it's about someone named Tom Hanniger, who is accused of causing the collapse as he forgot to vent the methane lines because he was a miner. So it's his fault. The miners died. And then apparently it's his fault that Harry Warden turned into a serial killer. Apparently, I don't know. And Harry Warden has basically, when they rescued him from the mine, he fell into a coma. So we go to 1 year later, and Harry is still in a coma, and then he randomly wakes up, and he's like, I don't know who this actor is. He's creepy looking, man. He's like a Jason Voorhees creepy looking guy. He's sitting up in his bed, and then we switch to the police arriving at the hospital, and Harry has basically massacred like most of the patients and the nurses. And basically now the hunt is on to find Harry, and the police wonder where he went. But when the police are at the hospital, they do find a Valentine's Day box with a severed heart. So that's kind of his MO. But I like the opening. The opening scenes with the newspaper clippings, and then 1 year later, that's literally like 5 minutes. And instantly you know everything you need to know about what's happened. So that's exposition that we needed, that we didn't need to fucking go through in the story. We've met the killer, and now the hunt is on to find him, and that's the entire setup.
The opening to this movie is very, very economical because, like Dean said, the way that the writers of this film give you the exposition in the opening credits saves the writers a whole bunch of time, because by giving the audience the backstory of the film in the opening credits, they don't have to do it at the beginning of the film. So they can make the film all killer, no filler, and that's what they do. I absolutely love that Tom gets blamed for the death of the miners in the early part of this film. I absolutely love the scene when Harry wakes up in the hospital bed and he massacres the entire nursing staff and like half the people in the hospital. It is so gruesome and disgusting.
So now we move on. So now we cut to the old mines, and we meet Irene, Axel, Sarah, and Tom. And there's a party, and Irene, Axel, Sarah, and Tom head further into the mines because that's where the kids party nowadays. They party in the mines. But Tom, we know, is the one that they blamed for the mine collapse, is hesitant because, the town blames him for the collapse, and he blames himself, and he kind of doesn't want to go in, and he's got some trauma there, obviously. And then Tom says, look, I forgot something at the truck. It's the beer or whatever. I'll be in a sec. So the rest head into the mines. When Harry Warden, dressed in miner overalls and a gas mask, starts killing all the other party goers, because there's other teenagers there too. Irene, Axel, and Sarah hide until, it's safe to run. And then they bump into Tom coming in. Tom has no idea what's going on. He's like, why are you running? And then Harry comes out and he swipes the pickaxe at Tom, and Tom is just not expecting it, and he moves out of the way. The others rush out and they run to the car and they fucking leave him. They leave Tom. Axel is an absolute dick. He's like, come on, let's go. Sarah, who is Tom's girlfriend, goes, no, we have to go back. And Axel's like, no, he's already dead. We're not going back for him. And then Sarah just does nothing. See, she sits there. What a shit ass girlfriend. She sits there and fucking does nothing. And then the police come and they shoot Harry, and it seems like he gets away. But Tom, there's this beautiful push in on Jensen Ackles, who plays Tom, and he's got blood all over his face and he's on the ground and he's so fucking traumatized by what's happened. He cannot even speak. And just that shot sets up the entire movie. And yeah, I thought it was great. What shit friends. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you go into a mine partying, an axe murderer comes out and I'm like, fuck you, I'm going. What the fuck? Hello.
Well, I can't imagine that because number one, you would never do it to me. But secondly, it's really fucking shitty that Tom has these friends that obviously don't give a shit about him. Because if you're with a group of friends and you're in a stressful situation, if your friends really care about you, they won't run away. They will run to help you. They'll do the exact opposite of what these fucking fogies did. I absolutely love the kills in The Mind by Harry. There's one specific kill that is my favorite in this movie, and that's when Harry takes a fucking shovel to to one of the girls' faces, and he fucking like he sticks the shovel in her fucking face and chops her head off. It's such a cool kill.
He sticks the shovel in her mouth. He pushes it
Get him out.
back towards
Yeah.
like a post, and then the bottom half of her body like falls off. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's so cool, and like the top half of her face scoots forward onto the shovel. So cool.
That was a cool
So
kill.
cool. But I do want to mention that moment that you mentioned when the director does a small push in to Tom and him being traumatized by that whole event. That moment, like Dean just said, really, really sets up the entire character of Tom for the rest of the movie. And the other thing that I like about this film is that it's really, really, really subversive. It does a great job of setting up red herrings and going in different directions that I didn't think it was gonna that I didn't think it was gonna go down, or going down roads that I didn't think it was gonna go down. So it's very, very good at subverting the audience's expectations. And I think that's great.
So 10 years later, we go 10 years later, and a news broadcaster tells us, or it's telling the camera, that Harry was buried in the rubble 10 years ago. So basically she's saying when they shot him in the mine, he was buried. And then interviews the sheriff of the town, which is now Axel. I don't know how believable that is, but whatever. I don't know. So, but it is a small town, so maybe it is believable. Basically, Axel...
It's not.
It's not...
He's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. So basically, Axel is just fed up with everybody asking questions about that night. But the anniversary is coming up, and the news, every anniversary, because it's a big thing, it's a little town, they always ask questions. But Axel, who started out as a dick, is still a dick. So Sarah comes in and is now married to Axel. But before, she was with Tom. But before, when they're in the mines, Axel kind of had a thing for Sarah, but kind of never said anything. And now they're married. And there is a kind of young, seductive, like, girl sitting like at the in the cafe at the bar. Where is it? Where's she sitting? She's sitting at the bar. Where is it?
No, she's sitting at the at the counter.
At the counter.
It's a cafe.
Yes, sorry.
It's a cafe. It's not a bar. It's not a bar. She's sitting at the counter.
Yeah, I couldn't get the word counter. I was like, where's she sitting? Counter. Thank you. She's sitting at the counter and she's eyeing Axel, and Axel's eyeing her back. So you know just by that look, something's going on. And then after that, we go to a cabin in the woods where Axel and the girl are getting dressed. And obviously you know what they've just done. And the girl wants more, because she always does. They always do. But Axel won't leave Sarah. And then the girl says, guess what? I'm pregnant. Because they always get pregnant. And he's so happy. And Axel is like, no, very bad. So basically, it's set up Axel as an asshole, because Sarah is actually a really, really nice character. You don't want her to die. You don't want anything bad to happen. but Axel is doing this thing because he's a dick, but it sets up their characters.
Axel is the most unlikable, unlikely hero in this movie. Like I don't understand what the writers were trying to say with him, because for 99% of the movie, he's such a fucking dick. He fucking overreacts with everything. He has a temper. He cheats on his wife. Like he's like he's a really unforgivable character. So I found it really hard to root for him throughout the whole course of the movie. So I don't think that the writers necessarily wrote him the right way. I would have I would have wrote him as a dick, but I would have made him nicer as the film went on. But the writers didn't do that. The writers to me did the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted him to die.
Yeah.
I didn't like
He
his
should have
character.
died. He should have died. He should have died.
Yeah, look, I don't love what they did with the ending, but I understand why they did it. But I didn't love it.
Mhm. The other thing that I like about the scene is that the scene does a really really good job of illustrating to the audience that this is a small town, and in small towns, really fucked up shit happens. Case in point, what Axel and that girl do.
Yeah, because they're, I don't know, boredom, maybe?
Probably.
So in the next scene, Tom comes back to town, and the reason he comes back after 10 years is because his father passed away, and his father actually owned the mines, and Tom has come to sign the papers over to someone else because he wants nothing to do with the mines. The townspeople don't like this. And through the whole movie, the townspeople get up his ass. You can't sell the mines. You can't do this. And he's like, I don't want anything to do with the mines. I don't want to be in this town. I want to move forward with my life, and I can't if I'm still attached to this. Now, these townspeople are all older guys that work in the mines. And I see it from their perspective, but I also see it from Tom's perspective. Like, he doesn't want it. Why should he have to have the responsibility just to make other people happy? So, what do you reckon?
Here's another thing. Why does he need their fucking approval to shut down the mine and to sell the mine to somebody who will do whatever they want, who will do whatever they want with it? If he fucking hated the mine so much, he should have fucking stayed away from the town and let the mine fall into limbo and let somebody else deal with it.
But he had to sign the papers.
On the same note, why does he give a fuck? Why does he care?
He doesn't. He doesn't care.
All right. Yeah, okay, he doesn't care.
Tom checks into a motel and he sits down. He's taking medication, probably to help with his fucking PTSD. But we don't really know what he's taking. Now, in the next room, Irene, from the beginning, is having sex with like a truck driver when she sees he's recording it. And she gets the shit. She's like, no, you can't do this. Turn it off. He leaves and he's just an absolute dick to her. And he heads out to his truck because he's a truck driver and this is like a motel, like Motel 6. And she runs out stark naked. I'm not even talking about underwear. Fucking bare ass naked. Carrying a little ass gun, and she's pissed. She's like, I'm gonna fuck. I don't even want to put clothes on. I'm gonna fuck him up, which I think is hilarious. And she points the gun at him, and she's like, fucking give me the tape. And he's like, oh my God, just go in and before like a kid sees you, go and put some clothes on. She's like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. She's so relatable in that moment that she does not even give a shit. She's like, I don't care what I look like. Give me the fucking tape. And he's just laughing at her like, yeah, no. He opens his truck door and right down on his head comes a fucking pickaxe. I like this kill because it's unexpected and it's gory and it's great. Irene basically screams. She runs naked and then the miner, well, Harry, gets out of the truck and starts chasing her into the motel. And there's this sort of cat and mouse scene where she's running around, she's hiding behind a bed, and then the mattress comes off the bed and then she's holding the grate up, which is really, really cool. And he's trying to like pickaxe her and then finally he kills her. But it's a really good cat and mouse scene and it's a really good kill scene. So bye Irene. Bye Irene.
That scene when Irene basically comes out of the hotel room in her birthday suit or without her birthday suit to confront the trucker who just took the video of her after they had sex is so fucking hilarious. I love the moment when he says, "Come on, Irene, the fucking gun isn't even loaded," and then she throws the gun at him, and then he opens the door to his truck and he gets fucking axed in the head is such a great sequence. But you forgot something.
I,
Before the miner kills Irene, he kills the fucking the hotel manager woman who's a midget.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a
And
good kill because
you
he
you
lifts
know
her up, doesn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
He acts her underneath the chin and he lifts her up and she gets electrocuted by the lights.
That's right. Yes, 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 yes. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's such a really good scene, and it really made me think of like, what would I do in a really fucking horrible situation like that? And here's the thing:
Mm,
when you're being chased by somebody who is threatening your life, you really don't have a lot of time to think.
yeah.
And what Irene did by getting under the bed is like the most stupidest thing that you could do.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, really? You're hiding under the bed? How about running towards other people? That would
Yeah.
help.
But like you said, you don't think. Your brain just
Right,
goes,
right, right.
just go. That's it.
The other thing that I love about the scene is that really quick moment when we see Tom in his hotel room take some kind of medication for his PTSD that he got at the beginning of the film. I think that's such a good setup
Mm.
for his grander story to be revealed at the end of the film. It's such a really good setup. And you notice every time that he takes the pills, we never get a really cool, we never get a shot of what kind of pills he's taking.
Yeah, we never know what the pills are because
And no,
if
we
we
won't.
knew,
And
it would give away
no,
everything.
no, and what they're for. Sorry, and what they're for too.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So the
Yeah.
next day, Axel and his officers show up at the motel, and Axel notices Tom's name in the sign in book, and it instantly gets pissed. And he also finds the recording of the truck driver that recorded the sex tape. He finds a recording. And now we switch to Sarah, who's the manager of the supermarket in the small town, and the girl that Axel is sleeping with works with her. Awkward. So Tom walks into the supermarket and Sarah is basically taken aback. She has not seen him in 10 years. Then she says to him, "You just vanished with no word for 10 years. Couldn't contact you, didn't know where you were. And no one knew where he was." And then he apologizes profusely and says, "Look, I just had to get out. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't be back here. I just." What he says does make sense. But you can see that Sarah still has a thing for him. Because she still loves him. That's obvious through the whole thing. And then he leaves, and then Sarah gets home and pulls out an old photo of her and Tom, basically saying that she really did love him and kind of settled for Axel. And scenes coming up, Axel knows it. He knows, which is why he's so triggered by Tom. He knows it. Anyway, thoughts?
I thought that scene when we realized that Sarah works with that Sarah works with the woman that Axel is fucking and sleeping with and cheating with her on is very unsettling. I'm like, dude, really, you are sleeping with a woman who works with your wife? How much of a fucking dick are you?
Right. Right.
The moment when Tom comes into the convenience store and has a quick conversation with Sarah, and Sarah sort of says to Tom, you just disappeared and nobody knew where you were. How dare could you do that to us? And I'm like, if I was Tom, I was like, how dare could you guys leave me alone in a fucking mine to be killed?
Yeah.
The way that Sarah reacted, she had no right to react like that because she left that motherfucking kid, she left that motherfucking guy to die.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm like, fuck you. You left him to die. He's in the right here. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So Axel's looking over the recording they found, which is basically the truck driver's camera, and it shows, obviously him having sex with her, with Irene. But then he sees someone dressed in a miner's outfit with a pickaxe, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I see." And then Axel gets sent a Valentine's Day gift of a human heart in a Valentine's Day box, which is Harry Warden's MO. So basically, that's to say to him and to us, Harry Warden is back. So I liked that because now there's evidence that Harry Warden is back, and the heart thing kind of cements that for Axel.
I love the scene when Axel gets the heart at the police station. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but the production design and the props master who designed all the harshness where he did such a good job. I was really really impressed with this with his work throughout the course of the film, and I also like the fact that for like 99% of the movie, we think that that the miner with the pickaxe is Harry. Like I said before, the writer and the director do such a good job at subversing the audience's expectations. So you spend half the movie guessing, oh no, the miner is this guy, or it's this guy, or it can't be
Mhm.
this guy. They do such a good job with that.
They do. They do a really good job. Tom walks into a local bar and like immediately the old guys in there, the miners, basically want to kill him. They get in his face because they think the killing started again because he came back. They're just fucking idiots. And they blame him for the 5 miners' deaths and they tell him to get out and they're like, "Oh, you can't sell the mines, we're going to lose our jobs." The whole town fucking hates him. Like and I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like, yeah, it pissed me off because he yes, okay, yes, he was the one that fucked up and didn't vent the methane gas, but he didn't kill the miners. He didn't go on a killing spree. Like these people in these towns are just fuck, and you feel really sorry for Tom. This is what this movie does. It makes you feel really fucking bad for him, and it's really really good writing.
The townsfolk are looking for somebody to blame, and Tom is in the way. If the townsfolk really fucking wanted to get Tom out of their fucking hair, they should have fucking paid him off. They
Yeah,
should have paid him off.
yeah,
If they would have paid him off, I guarantee you that Tom would have fucked off. But I'm so happy you said that, because also I'm so happy that you said that Tom is basically shit on by every character in this movie until the very end. So, like you said, the writers do such a good job at making us feel bad for him, because the writers construct the story in this way. What happens in the third act hits so much harder.
yeah. So Tom ends up telling Sarah that the reason he left is because he couldn't face what happened, so he ran. And now he wants to come. He's the only reason he's come back is because he wants to sell the mines to completely detach himself from the town. But then Sarah gets up his ass. Sarah starts saying the town depends on the mines, and if he sells it, it affects everybody. But he says he just wants to get out of there and doesn't want the responsibility of or owning the mines. So even she makes him feel bad. Not one person understands what he's been through and why he doesn't want anything to do with the mines. They're just thinking about themselves. And again, you feel sorry for him. You're like, oh my God, this horrible thing happened to this guy. All he wants to do is come back, sign papers, and leave. And everybody, it's like, no wonder he doesn't want to be in the town. Everybody fucking hates him. So I like that scene too.
You know what? At this point, when I was watching the movie in preparation for this conversation, I was like, you know what? Everybody in this fucking town deserves to die, because they are a bunch of fucking whiny little bitches that blame other people for their problems. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I know.
This is fucking ridiculous. Tom doesn't deserve this shit at all. He doesn't have to put up with this shit.
I know.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah, I
They
know.
all fucking deserve to die a horrible death. Even Sarah.
Yeah, the writers did a really good job of making you really feel bad for Tom and making you hate everybody in the town. So when people started getting like dead, it was like, you know what? You deserve to die. That's what the writers did. And that's why I think this writing is so good in this movie.
You know, the only person that I don't think really deserved to, the only person that I don't think really deserved to die was kind of like Irene. That was it, basically.
Yes, yes. Irene was a cool character. She was cool. She didn't deserve
Yeah.
to die.
No, but also, before you continue, what do you, how do you feel about the CG? How do you feel about the 3D effects in this movie? Because they were really off-putting to me.
They're off putting because 3D didn't quite work out. I think Hollywood thought 3D is going to be the new thing, but it doesn't work if you're not, if you don't have the glasses on. And 3D kind of just fizzled out. I saw this in the cinema with 3D glasses on and it absolutely worked. Like it worked, but without the glasses, it's stupid. So Tom visits the mines. He wants to speak to Ben, which is his father's friend, about signing the papers and just having a conversation with him. And he gets taken down by another miner in like this buggy thing. And it's just him and this other miner, and this other miner kind of calls Ben to come down. when Tom sees the Axeman, just gonna call him the Axeman, who basically Tom starts yelling, and the Axeman basically locks him in a cage. But there is a shot of Tom and the Axeman standing in unison, right? So the Axeman locks him in the cage, and they're both kind of crouching down, and they both stand up at the same time, which should say it all. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot alluding to what is actually going on. And it is, I don't know who came up with that, but I'm like, you know what? If you're watching this for the first time, you're probably not going to get it. But if you're watching this knowing the ending, you're going, I see what you did. I see what you did there. So the Axeman leaves Tom in the cage and basically kills the guy who brought Tom down. And then the miners arrive, and instantly, they think it's Tom. They're like, well, you killed him. And Tom is like, how did I kill him? I'm stuck in a fucking cage. I'm locked in, which he was. He's locked in. He can't get out. Even when the miners come down, they have trouble getting him out of the fucking cage. And so I think at that moment, they're like, oh, okay, so Tom's not doing it, which I think maybe they suspected, oh no, and he's seen this guy get killed. And I think it kind of changes their mind about Tom a little bit, but that scene was absolute perfection, because when we go back at the end and see what actually happened, it's like, very, very smart, intelligent writing.
That scene when Tom goes into the mine and gets confronted with the Axeman, and you have that moment that Dean referenced when the Axeman and Tom are face to face with each other and they stand up at the same time. That was one of the best moments in the movie. But for me, that moment played even better because I've already seen this movie. I know it. That scene is a dead giveaway to the third act twist in this movie, and it's just fucking fantastic. But again, when everybody shows up and they try to blame Tom for what happened in the mine just a couple of seconds ago, I wanted to kill all these people because how the fuck could Tom be? How the fuck could Tom be the one responsible for this? Tom was locked in a fucking cage.
I know.
What in the hell is wrong with these people? It's like they're all fucking senile. Look, I really enjoy this movie, but this conversation is really, really making me realize things that I don't like about the movie.
The reason they thought it was Tom is because when they got down there, Tom was in the cage to the back. They didn't see that he was locked in. They just saw that he was in the cage.
Oh.
It's only when they approached that they went, holy shit, you are actually locked in. That's why they had trouble getting him out.
Oh, okay. I skipped over that part because I was so enraged that Tom was like thrown, that Tom got thrown to the wolves by these fucking townspeople again. I was just so enraged.
Yeah, no, I know. So Tommy's in the hospital and he's getting stitched up when he tells Ben, the guy that he went there to see, that he saw Harry Warden kill the miner. And then Sarah steps in asking what happened. I don't know why she's there. Why is she randomly at the hospital? Oh no, I think she was delivering something, but it's still really fucking random that she's there. So anyway, Sarah steps in asking what happened and why he was in the mines. And Tom says he wanted to tell Ben he isn't selling. The reason is because he wants to say because, he still loves Sarah. Now Axel steps in. I don't know why he just steps in behind a curtain. I'm like, where'd you come? Where are these people coming? Why are they all at the hospital? It was very, very, it's the only thing in the movie where I've gone, why are you all there?
This scene really was constructed because I think that the writers needed certain characters to be there just to get out exposition. This scene really reminded me of a moment when the writers needed something specific to happen.
Yeah.
And for that specific thing to happen, they needed characters. So they put those characters just there to serve a purpose. So this scene really, really goes under the category of writer's convenience. It happens in every movie that we talk about.
It is, but it's okay if you don't use it too often. If you just need to get something across quickly because the movie's already long enough, I think it's okay. Maybe 2 or 3 times writer's convenience, I'll let slide. But if the whole thing is writer's convenience and I'm like, then I have a problem. Anyway, Axel steps in asking why he doesn't want to sell the mines. And Tom says, well, you were always jealous of me and Sarah. Axel doesn't like this. Axel gets the shits and then tells Tom that it's not Harry. It can't be Harry killing people because Ben killed him with the sheriff at the time, the one before Axel, but they covered it up. They just told people that Harry died in the mines, but they actually hunted him down and killed him, but they never told anyone. Now they go out to where Harry is supposed to be buried, and oh no, body's not there. And the sheriff and Ben are like, no, this is where we buried him. And Axel is like, are you sure he was dead? And they're like, yeah, no, he was dead. The funny thing was, when you actually look at the grave, it's literally like a foot deep. If you wanted to make sure someone was dead, you gotta dig deep. You gotta do at least 6 feet, which is like the stock standard. That way, you know, if someone is even a little bit alive, there ain't no way they're getting out of that. Anyway, that's just my morbid mind. Thoughts?
I like flipped backwards when I found out that the original sheriff for the town lied to the whole town and said that they killed that Harry died in the mines, but in fact they killed him and they buried him in a shallow grave in the woods. I lost my fucking mind because I was like, not only are these fucking people hypocrites who blame other people for their issues, but they're fucking liars and they're fucking crooks. And when everybody went to go see if Harry was still in his grave, I was like, I bet you he's not there. I bet you the motherfucker has risen from the grave and is really killing these people.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. If you're gonna bury somebody, you have to bury them at least 6 feet deep because if you don't, that's a shallow grave. And it's really, really easy to get up from a shallow grave if you know what you're doing.
And if you're not dead.
Yeah, and if you're not dead.
So Tom is at the police station and he's being interrogated by Axel. And Tom says, you know, she settled for you, right? You know that? And Axel just
Burn, bitch, burn.
burn, man, because Axel knows it's true. So Axel lashes out at him. It punches Tom, and then one of his officers comes in, and he tells his officer lock Tom up. But the officer says, "Look, I can't do that because the foreman at the mine said that Tom was locked in a cage when the other miner was killed, and so he didn't. There's no way he could have done it." So Axel is pissed, and now he has to let Tom go. And you know what? The whole movie, you're on Tom's side. Even at the end, I'm on Tom's side. But the whole movie, normal people, they're on Tom's side because Axel is just a dick.
Yeah, Axel is such a individual that will go off the handle for any reason whatsoever, or any time that he's faced with opposition. Axel would not be a sheriff in like 99 in like 99 police precincts in the world. The only reason that Axel is a sheriff is because he's a guy. He's a sheriff in a small town, but he could not be a sheriff in like a bigger community. He would be found to be so incompetent. Like it's ridiculous how
Yeah.
crazy how much he flies off the handle. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, no, exactly. Tom takes a drive and he's walking through near to where the mines are, and he stumbles upon the cabin that Axel uses to bring the girl to. And he goes in and he sees an opened box of Valentine's Day chocolates that she gave to Axel and a card. Now, this is not from Sarah, this is from some chick. And he's like, oh, okay. And then we switch to Ben, which is the guy that Tom was going to see in the mines, who is home alone when the Axeman shows up and basically shoves his head right through the pickaxe by his eye. This is my favorite kill. Now, this was a longer scene. I think this scene was really good and really drawn out because there's like Ben goes outside, and then he goes out the back, and then he hears noises, and then he tries to run away from the Axeman, but the Axeman ends up putting the pickaxe through his eye, and there's just this close up of like the point, like going like right through the eyes. It's pretty fucking brutal. But it's a good kill. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah, actually, that kill is actually in my top three of kills that I love in this movie because the Axeman actually uses his foot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And right before the guy dies, he goes, "Oh no!" And then the Axeman goes with his foot. And the way that it's shot is it's shot from above, so you see the Axeman's foot touch the back of his head, and the axe comes through the back of his head. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a good kill.
So good, so good.
So they end up finding Ben's body at the site of where Harry Warden's body is supposed to be, and Axel gets the shits. Axel tells his cops to bring Tom in because Tom is really the only. He's a suspect, but also Axel fucking hates him, so he just wants to bring him in just because he can. And then we switch to the supermarket Sarah manages, which I love this scene. This is a really good cat and mouse scene. And she's closing up. It's nighttime, and there's no one around. She's with the girl that Axel is sleeping with. When they start to hear kind of noises, they've turned off all the lights. Now it's a massive, like aisled, massive supermarket. And if you've ever been in a supermarket at night with no one, it's scary. Like it is, like even without an axe murderer, it's fucking dark and it's scary. So she's closing up. They start to hear noises. I love this. There is a shot and it just pans past the aisle and we go with Sarah. We're tracking Sarah. She walks past an aisle, but she doesn't look down the aisle, but the camera sees what's down the aisle. At the very, very far end, at the end of the aisle, we see the Axeman standing and he's standing under the aisle that says fresh meat. I'm like, oh, I fucking love it. I love it. So anyway, there are these really ominous shots of him standing there and they don't know he's there. And I love that. I love it when there's someone that's stalking the main character. We know he's there, but they don't. Kind of throwback to like Scream when Randy's on the couch and he's like, Jamie, move out of the way. It's like audience participation.
Turn around, turn
Turn
around.
around, turn around.
Yeah, turn around.
It's audience participation. I'm like, girl, you better get out of the supermarket. The X-Man is there. Anyway, so he starts chasing them through the store, which is a really, really cool scene. They barricade themselves in a room. And the girl, I don't even know what her name is, she slips out the window, but he's already gone around the side and she gets dead. I don't know how quickly he gets. I mean, maybe he runs. I don't know. Anyway, she gets dead. Sarah runs to the front and bumps into Axel, who's randomly there, who discovers the girl's body and her heart is cut out with "Be Mine Forever" with blood written in blood above her dead body. Now, afterwards, Sarah asks why he would kill. Oh, Megan, that's her name. Why he would kill Megan, who has no connection to anything or anyone. And Axel says, I don't know. And Sarah looks at him because women are not stupid. We might act dumb sometimes just to please you, but we're not dumb. We see everything. And she looks at Axel and says, I'm not blind. And he gives her a look like he legitimately is shocked. And I'm like, dude, really? You think she's dumb? She's not dumb. You're just not as smart as you think you are. So she's basically known the whole time, but lets it slide. Who's at fault? Is it him or is it her that lets it slide? I don't know.
It's her fault. It's her fault because
Yes.
she should know that she deserves better, and she shouldn't perpetuate a bullshit situation. She shouldn't have to deal with that. Sarah is a fucking catch. Although Sarah is fucking annoying and Sarah deserves to die because she didn't stand up for the person that she really loves, but she should have had enough strength to step out of a marriage that wasn't working for her. I do think that what Axel says when he says that it doesn't make any sense whatsoever why Megan got killed. That's a bunch of bullshit.
No, he knows.
Megan, yeah. Megan getting killed has everything to do with it.
I know.
The entire scene, the camera work in the supermarket is fantastic. This scene reminded me so much of a Scream movie and watching Ghostface stalk my favorite characters in the franchise. It was very, very reminiscent of that. Yep. And like I said, the camera work in this scene was fucking fantastic.
Yes. So the Axeman goes to Sarah and Axel's house and kills the housekeeper. Oh no. And then the cops show up and one of them finds the body of the housekeeper stuffed in the washing machine / dryer, which is cool. And the other cop, which is the old sheriff, I don't know why the old sheriff is still on the beat. If you're not the sheriff, it means you're retired. You're not still a cop, but he's still there.
No, he's not on the beat. He's just helping out the town.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's a small town and they can do whatever the fuck they want in a small town.
Yeah. They can do whatever they want. And look, and also, Axel says at the beginning of the film, this is a redneck town too.
Yeah, right. So he gets a pickaxe to the face and his jaw gets ripped off. That's a good kill.
Nice.
That's a good kill.
Nice.
Thoughts?
That scene was fantastic. I really, really, really love the kill of the nanny, and I love the fact that the X-Man stuffs her in the fucking washing machine.
That's a tall
But
order to do that.
yeah, it's tall order. But also the kill of the retired sheriff when the X-Men takes off his jaw. I was like, this shit is Randy, man. Oh my god. That kill almost superseded the first kill in the mine with half of the girl's face falling off on the shovel.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
so good. And all throughout this movie, I was wondering to myself, am I really fucking sick in the head? Because I love all these fucking kills.
I know. That's how desensitized we are. We're like, yeah,
Yeah,
take
and
the
no,
jaw off.
yeah, yeah. Take the head off, man. Take the fucking head off.
So Sarah gets a call from Tom and he tells her he doesn't think that Harry is actually doing the killings and he needs to show her something urgently. And then we switch to Axel and one of Axel's officers radios him telling him he got the report back on Tom and he's going to want to hear it. Now Axel finds out that Sarah is actually with Tom and he's like, oh no. So Tom and Sarah are in the car and it's night. And Tom says, I think Axel is doing the killings. And then Sarah gets a call from Axel. And he tells her that he's just found out that Tom has been in a mental institution for the past 7 years. And he went after their son and he thinks it's him. So now you've got Axel saying it's Tom saying it's Axel. So now Sarah doesn't know what to fucking think. Tom says, who are you talking to? And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, I gotta go, bye. And he's like, that was Axel. Axel's trying to pin it on me. And she doesn't know. She does not know who to trust because Axel is not trustworthy. Tom, she could always trust. But after hearing he's been in a mental institution, I mean, even I wouldn't know what to think. I'd be like, I would be so fucking confused. And so it's like, okay, she's got to get away from Tom because she's not sure now. So Sarah grabs the wheel and they basically crash the car. She calls Axel and he tells her to go to the cabin. So she's decided in this moment to trust Axel. So, thoughts?
The way that the writers build up suspicion in that scene when you find out that Tom was in a mental institution for 7 years, but the way that Tom flips his script on Sarah and he blames Axel and he says, no, Axel's setting me up. And then Axel says, no, it's the killer's really Tom and you should get out of the situation that you're in. But the problem is that Sarah is in the car and basically she can't escape. There is this moment when Sarah says something. I can't remember what she actually says. But the second that she says it, Tom flips the fuck out and he starts to bang on the car wheel. And I'm like, oh shit, it actually is Tom. It's a really, really, really good reveal. And also this third act reveal of Tom potentially being the killer explains the reason why he was taking the pills. At that moment, I'm like, wait a minute, the pills were actually antipsychotics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a great way to flip the story on its head because throughout the whole course of the movie, you're thinking that the hero and the good guy is Tom, but the hero and the good guy is the actual villain. That is.
Yeah. So Sarah gets to the cabin. She's running through the woods. She gets to the cabin and finds the Valentine's Day card that Megan gave Axel. She's like, oh, so this is where they go. The woman just gets hit over and over again, I swear. So she opens up a cupboard and all of these Valentine's Day boxes fall out. The same boxes that have the hearts in them that Harry Warden does. Like after he kills people, he cuts the heart out and he puts it in a Valentine's Day box. Now the Axeman shows up, chasing Sarah out of the cabin, into the woods, and to the mines. And she runs deep into the mines. And then Axel comes in and she grabs his gun and points it at him. And he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't trust you. And then Tom shows up and she points it at him. And she doesn't know what to do or who the killer is. So they both try and convince Sarah it's not them, it's the other person. Until Tom says one thing and it fucks him up. He says, when he was at the cabin, because he was there first, she knows that, in Megan's Valentine were the same, in Megan's Valentine card that she gave Axel, the same words that she wrote in the card were written in blood above her dead body, which was, I think it was like Be Mine, Be My Valentine, or whatever it was. And then Sarah says, how do you know what was written above Megan's dead body? And that's when it clicks. And he's got nowhere to go because he was not there. He was not there. How would he know what was done? So now Tom starts freaking out because he starts seeing the Axeman coming up from behind Sarah. He's like, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him. Axel's looking, and then what's her face? Sarah's looking, and they're like, what the fuck is he doing? And then we see what he sees. We see what they see, which is no one. And then we see what Tom sees, which is the Axeman. And it's at this moment that you go, oh, it's in his head. Oh, it's not real. They don't know what to do. Tom is he's not pretending to see someone. He actually believes that he sees someone until the Axeman comes right up to them, right fucking past them, right up to Tom, and then poof, vanishes. And then Jensen Ackles is so good in this role. He plays it so convincingly that he's got this mental illness. And when the Axeman vanishes, it's like he doesn't know what to do because I think when he becomes the Axeman, I think he blacks out. I think he's got split personality. I think he's compartmentalized being the killer versus being Tom, which is why he's so convincing when he doesn't know what's going on. He's not an actor. He just doesn't remember doing these things because he clicks into a part of his mind that blocks out the other part of his mind. So now we see that all the killings were done by Tom. We see that he dug up the body of Harry and used his original axe, but again, he doesn't remember it. He blocks it out. So I like that because it's like, oh, well, but he was so convincing. Yeah, because we know he takes pills. We know now he takes it probably maybe for like schizophrenia, for something, split personality, borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia, whatever. He takes it, but he compartmentalizes it. So he doesn't actually know he's doing the killings. He thinks Harry Warden is genuinely doing it. And that's what I love about this movie is you're not expecting Tom to be the killer. And I absolutely love it.
Tom became the axe murderer as a way to deal with his trauma.
Yes, it's trauma based. Yes.
It's trauma based. I personally think that he's suffering from split personality disorder. Listen, I agree with you as well. Jensen Ackles does such a good job with playing with playing both characters to such a good effect that when he isn't the axe murderer, the way that he plays it is so innocent and so pure.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a wonderful scene, and that moment when he is staring off into the distance and he actually thinks that the axe murderer is behind Sarah, and as Dean said, when the axe murderer comes up to Sarah and she goes right through him, that's such a great way to reveal that your hero throughout 99% of this movie was in fact your villain. And you know what? I feel bad for Tom. I don't want fucking Tom to die.
That's what I mean. Like, I didn't want Tom to die.
Right. You know what I wanted to happen? I wanted Tom to win.
I wanted Tom to win too.
Yeah. I wanted Tom to kill these fucking people and then disappear.
Yeah, even though he was revealed to be the killer, I was like, oh man.
Because you know who's responsible for this whole fucking thing? If the townspeople are looking for somebody to blame, with what happened to Tom, they should blame themselves. Because if they didn't leave him behind at the beginning of the movie, this possibly would have never happened.
Yeah, I know. This is the final scene of the movie. Tom and Axel are basically having a scuffle until Tom runs off down the mines. Tom grabs a pickaxe, and I love this shot. As he walks towards Sarah and Axel, he smashes the light globes along the way. But as he smashes them, we see a flicker of the Axeman in full costume, but as Tom. So it basically says they are one and the same. And I love how they edited it because I'm like, ooh, that's good. I've never seen that before. So Sarah ends up, because she's still got the gun, she ends up shooting Tom. It goes through him and it hits a gas main, and there's this like massive explosion. And the mines come down. Some rescue workers arrive a little bit later because Axel and Sarah made it out and see Tom under rubble. And he grabs his pickaxe, right? One of the rescue workers goes and tries to pull him out. He grabs his pickaxe and basically kills the guy that's trying to rescue him. He's just not done. He's like, nope, I'm going to kill you. Because he knows if he gets caught, he's going straight to fucking jail. Axel and Sarah get out. Yep. They're okay. Axel tells the cops that Tom is dead. He has to be dead because it's like he has to be buried alive. And this is just, it's the same thing that happened to Harry Warden where they thought he was dead, but he really wasn't dead. And then we see the rescue workers walking out of the mine. The camera kind of focuses on one rescue worker and we track him all the way up like this hill. And then he takes off his mask and it's Tom. So the reason he killed the guy was because he wanted to steal his suit, put it on, and escape. This is one of the movies where the villain gets away, and I'm here for it. I think he should have gotten away. I'm here for it.
The only thing that didn't work for me in this third act is the fact that Tom didn't kill Sarah and Axel. But the fact that Tom gets away at the end is fantastic. I love the final fight sequence between Tom and Axel. And like Dean said, the moment when Tom is running down the mine shaft and you see Tom and the axe murderer in the same shot, that's fucking brilliant fucking editing.
Yeah.
But I also love the moment when the rescue workers find Tom underneath the rubble and he fucking axes the rescue worker that tries to save him. But the thing that makes the shot work for me is that you see a POV shot of it. It's a really, really cool decision because the director puts you in Axel's point of view. It's a really, really cool shot.
Yeah.
And when Axel makes it, when Tom makes it out of the mine, and he takes off the mask and you see that he's going to escape, I was like, a really, really good ending. And this movie was really, really enjoyable. There's a lot about it that I didn't like and that I just realized now in this conversation, but this movie is still a hell of a good time.
I think this is one of those times where the remake is way better than the original, because I watched the original just to compare, and the remake is just, it's so much better. In the original, My Bloody Valentine, Axel was the killer. It wasn't Tom. And it was just, they changed so much and they added in so much. And I think that this remake is so much far superior than the original one. The original one it wasn't stuck on story. It was just stuck on kills. It was just, let's just make a slasher movie, have a guy dressed up as a miner and kill people. It wasn't that there wasn't really much to it. But this one, I think the writers did a really, really, really superb job with the remake. Shall I go to my trivia?
Go right ahead.
The actor that played Irene, it was actually her idea to be fully nude.
You know what? God bless you. God bless you. Because the fact that she's nude makes the scene so memorable.
No, it does. It does. The director didn't want that. Was trying to get her to, like, when she got off the bed, put a towel around her and like tie it around so she wouldn't have to hold it. And the towel kept moving and it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. And she just went, you know what? I don't think that she would be doing that. I think she would be so pissed off that she would just walk out in her birthday suit, start naked. And the director goes, if you want to do it, and she goes, let's do it. And he goes, all right, let's do it. So that was her idea. But yes, you're right. It does make it memorable.
Yeah, 110%. But I do like the director trying to save the actor's modesty.
Sherry Moon Zombie, which is Rob Zombie's wife, was offered a part, but she turned it down because she only does roles in her husband's movies.
You know what? I think I just lost a bit of respect for her because I do like her performance in The Devil's Rejects, which is a kind of like really shitty movie.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate.
What I mean, even if that's the truth, you can come up with a better lie than that. The last piece of trivia, I thought this was cool. The writer of the film is actually the truck driver in the movie.
Hey, look at that. That's awesome. That is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when filmmakers and directors get to cameo in their films every once in a while. The only director / writer that I think abuses that a lot is Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of my trivia. Do you have anything else to add?
No, take us home.
We hope you've enjoyed our breakdown of My Bloody Valentine. And please, if you like us, subscribe, and all that stuff, if you so wish. Coming up next week, Let me do that again. Coming up next week, we will be reviewing the original and the best Mission Impossible. So we hope you can enjoy us. Let me do that again. I'm not even going to cut this out. I'm going to leave it in. We hope you can join us for that. And as I say every week, if someone is kind enough to make you a mixtape, that must mean that they really love you. The Mixtape Podcast is a Balloonhead Productions presentation.